So today we're looking at square root and squares of numbers. Well, I want you to just think about a square. What do you know about a square? What's something you can tell me about a square? What are some of its characteristics?
All four sides are the same length.
Good. All four sides are the exact same length. So if this side here is 5 centimeters, every single side has to be 5 centimeters, correct? Okay. What do you know about finding the area of a square? How do you find the area of a square? Yes? Okay, to find the area, we would multiply the length times the width, but because it's a square, what do you notice about the length and the width? They're the same. So we can actually rewrite it as, how do you multiply a number by itself? How would I show that? Multiplying a number by itself. How would I simplify that? Yes. To the power of 2. So, for example, if the length is 5, well, I would multiply the length by itself. So it would just be length squared, which means the length times the length because it's the exact same measurement. Or we can call it S. You might see this in your textbooks. S just stands for the side length. So in my example, the area of this square is 5 times 5, or we can write that as 5 squared, okay, because it's a square. What's 5 times 5? 25 centimeters squared, because it's area, okay? Okay, so if the side length of a square is 0, what's the area? 0. 1. 1 squared? 1 times 1? 2 squared. 4, 3 squared. 9, and so on. Okay, so we calculated our area for each square with side lengths from 0 all the way up to 12. If we're given the area, if I draw this square and I tell you the area is 36 centimeters squared, and I want to know what's the length and the width. Well, we know the length and width is going to be the same, right? Because it's a square, so it's going to be, we're trying to find the side length. Well, if you know the area, we need to find the root, the square root of that, because it's a square and you're finding the root. What times what? We know that S squared is equal to the area, and we know that the area in this case is 36. What's the opposite of squaring a number? What's the opposite of it? Working backwards, if I want to know the root. Right, square root. Okay? Because the square root of S squared is just S, right? S times S is S squared. What's the square root of 36? 6. Okay, does that make sense? Well, if we check, well, according to my diagram, we were told that the area was 36, and I found that the root of that is 6 times 6. Is 6 times 6 36? Yes, it works. Good. Good. If you're given the area of 81 centimeters squared and I want to know the length, well, we have to do the square root. Square root of 81 is 9 centimeters. Good. What if the area is 25 centimeters squared? What's the length of one of the sides? Good. Square root is 5 centimeters. 5 times 5 gives me 25. That's the area. If we're looking at perfect squares, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36, 7 times 7 is 49, 8 times 8 is, okay, these are all called perfect squares because the length and width are not decimal numbers, okay? They're all whole numbers.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.